I'm Jacob from the Sustainably Yours Homestead, where we're striving to live a little bit more sustainably each and every day, and we're inviting you to learn along with us. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, and then stay tuned because today I'm going to harvest some potatoes. Maybe. Well, my potatoes have died back. I was out here a week or so ago and I dug up one of the plants and I got a handful of little baby potatoes. So I'm not expecting too much from these, but I'm gonna go ahead and dig them up and see what's under there. Honestly, if I get any potatoes at all, I'll consider it a win because last year I tried that growing 100 pounds of potatoes in a box method and I don't think I got a single potato out of there. And that's not to say that the method wouldn't work. It's just I'm not very good at growing potatoes. So I'm gonna dig these things up and see what we got. I might show you the first couple that I dig up, but after that, I'm gonna turn the camera off and just get the job done. Well, look at that. This one's a little bit bigger than the potatoes I was digging the other day. See if we can continue that trend. I want to dig here. I kind of did these using a roof stout method with dried leaves. There's a little baby one. That's no good. Toss it. Let's see what's going on in here. That may be. No, there's another one here. Go. And that's all I got off of that first plant. Let's try another one. That one had I got a few more off of the second plant. Look at that. That's 2 plants so far. I'm kind of excited. I did not expect I mean, these aren't huge potatoes. They're not huge by any means, but they're halfway decent size, I think. Man, they're kind of, some of them have some little splits in them. So far I've seen at least 2 or 3 like that. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I can probably just cut that out and use them. Alright, I'm going to shut the camera down and pull the rest of these up. I use my phone as my camera and it overheats out in the sun, so I'm just going to stick it in my pocket and I'll show you what we've got when we're finished. Well, I was right. I have my phone in my pocket and it's still overheated on me, so I didn't get any extra footage out there, but finished. I've brought in my potatoes, and while I was out there, I went ahead and pulled my red onions. I was just gonna leave all of the onions out there for next year, but that was before the Shedwars. I need every ounce that I can get because I'm having some trouble elsewhere in my garden. More on that maybe in a later video. But with my onions, I kind of like the potatoes. I didn't get anything super awesome, but these are better than any of the onions I've ever grown before. Something that I did notice, some of my onions flowered, and I even had some that went to seed, so I may try and take some of those seeds and use them. I know they're not likely to breed true or anything, but it'll be fun just to try and plant the seeds. But what I noticed is my onions that shot up scapes and went to flower, these on average were a lot smaller than the onions that did not try to flower out. Especially if you compare the bulb size as a function of the size of the plant. And what I mean by that, like here this onion is really thick. The plant is really thick. But the bulb is really small and they didn't really round out very well. Compare that to, I would say this onion is probably comparable to that one. no flower on it. And it is much larger, and it rounded out really well. I was talking about this the other day with my elephant garlic. I was wondering if the flower forming takes away any energy from the bulb and reduces its size. And if I'm looking at the onions, it appears as though it probably does. Now, like I said, with the onions, I didn't get anything super huge, but I have to wonder how well these would have done if I'd actually taken care of them. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much out of the potatoes or the onions. I've attempted to grow both of them before and failed miserably every single time. So with these, I found a bunch of seed potatoes and onion starts at the Cost Plus grocery store. They were super cheap, so I just bought a bunch of them and I put them out around my tree, one of my apple trees in the orchard, and then just kind of forgot about them. You could see when I was out there, when I had the camera out there, the whole place was neglected. All of this was just more or less growing in grass. So I have to wonder how well they would have done if I had actually taken care of things. And the same thing with my potatoes. I did get a couple of decent sized potatoes. I'm surprised by that, actually. As a matter of fact, I thoroughly enjoyed digging those things up in the leaf litter. Like I said, I did a Ruth Stout kind of thing with dried leaves, and it was a whole lot of fun digging through, finding potatoes. It was almost like Christmas in July. And I'm definitely gonna be trying to grow these again next year, only I'll pay a lot more attention to them for sure. With these red potatoes, I got some decent sized ones. I also got some pretty small ones. Something that I noticed, a lot of them had a tendency to try and split on me. Here's another one. Here's one, this one split pretty badly. Here's another one. See, a bunch of them have split, and I don't really know why. If you can give me more information on this, I would really appreciate it. Just drop me a comment. Let me know what's going on with these potatoes. What could I do to prevent that in the future? Or is it even preventable? I don't know. And then I had another kind of potato, and to be honest, I don't even remember what kind these were. Like I said, they were just cheap. I picked them up and I threw them down in the ground. And with these, still, I got some decent sized potatoes. And then I also got some little bitty potatoes, some baby potatoes. I've got one here I'm gonna throw out. It was growing a little close to the surface. It got a little bit of sun. Potatoes are in the nightshade family, and the parts of the plant that have exposure to sun produce a toxin, and you can see it because it turns the plant green, or in this case it turns the potato green. So we're going to toss that one. I also noticed that I had a lot of these little bitty button potatoes on most of the plants. And again, I have to wonder if I had taken care of my spot out there, gotten rid of the competition, let everything make sure it had plenty of nutrients. I wonder if these would have grown a little bigger. So all in all, I'm pretty pumped about this experience. I know compared to regular gardens, I probably didn't have a huge amount of success, but I did learn a lot, and I feel like next year I'm going to be able to do a lot better on my potatoes and onions. Now I'm going to take these things inside. I think with the onions, I'm going to find me a good spot to lay them out, probably around where I have my garlic, and I'm going to let those dry out a little bit, let them cure. With the potatoes, I'm going to clean them up and weigh them up and add them to my Shedwars total, so stay tuned, I'll be right back. Alright, we'll start by putting this bowl on the scale, and I'm going to tear it out, zero the scale, I think I'll start with the white potatoes. Get them all put in the bowl here. And we end up with 4 pounds 11 ounces to add to the total. Now for the red potatoes. There they are. 5 pounds 12.3 ounces. Not quite ready to weigh the onions yet, but I did bring in a couple of cucumbers, so let's throw those on the scale. Looks like 10.7 ounces. I also brought in an eggplant. There it is, weighing in at 3.8 ounces. And another cucumber a few days ago, weighing in at 8.3 ounces. I'm telling you, it's nice to finally be harvesting some things from the garden. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If so, please be sure to give us that thumbs up and subscribe. Leave us a thoughtful comment. And if you'd be interested in following along as we continue to try to turn our home into a homestead, then be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when to be back for more daily, sustainable living.